Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. You know, we're talking about the Maga movement, Make America Great Again. It is a fight, as far as I can see, against God. America, you need to be aware, this movement by Donald Trump and his supporters is bigger than an attack on democracy. Though it violates what American democracy represents. But it also is a representation to violate the basic principles that would produce the opportunity for we as people to experience the best life that we can during these times. Authoritarianism and democracy both fall short of meeting the basic guidelines that would allow you and I and all people across this globe to live in perfection. And that denial is represented because of evil and greed and a rejection by the people who we are calling Maga to that perfection. But one thing we must recognize, that in this country, every one of the oppressors are representative of those that have been willing to oppress and annihilate the natives from their geography. Not only that, it forced another people into slavery, into Jim Crow, into second-class citizenry, a standard that has never been corrected. Perhaps such people do not hold the propensity to respect any higher power than their own. And they're willing to use fear and intimidation and death to control a people unsure about a true God of peace and prosperity and freedom, joy and happiness, and where dreams used to exist, now made real. Perhaps such people cannot comprehend such a conduct as that expressed about God. Such represents a call to those loyal to a higher power to emerge and represent the one love for all people, who will reject any opposition to love and still extend the same love to those so deceived and believed there is no God. This morning I heard that so many guys that are in police uniforms or in the military uniforms or in church uniforms are in partnership with what's that group? You know, sometimes this thing just blows me away. Let me see if I can. I'd like to apologize for that break, ladies and gentlemen, but realities are real. And I could not think of that word, that group that I was referring about. But the message that I was hearing this morning is that guys who are connected with the Oath Keepers, that their oath indicates that they are obliged to honor something that's bigger than the Constitution of the United States. And based upon what they are doing, their allegiance is to evil. Their allegiance is to the devil. And I say that because they're willing to do the things that I just mentioned earlier. They're willing to even kill you to have their way. So I can think of nothing closer as a representation of evil. But likewise, I'd like to say to all people that God and the love of God and the loyalty to God is no less demanding. Sure, we can walk within the guidelines of a constitution and rules and regulations that does not violate or hinder the message and the purpose of God. And it is not to kill, it is not to destroy. And it calls those who are filled with the love of God and the understanding of God to stand up to whatever is denying the reality of God, to resist it. To resist it to the extent that you are willing to die, not kill. Evil kills. The Maga movement, the Oath Keepers, representative of evil, representative of Satan, representative of the devil, places themselves above everything else, and are willing to kill, because there is no respect for a God of love. There is no respect for a unity of white people and black people and people of color. No unity for people to live in peace and be prosperous. No. Oath keepers and those who are denied the truth about God see themselves as being God, and they are willing to do as I have indicated here. But I also want you to know that those who are lifted up by the love of God are willing to take nothing. And my reason for saying this is because we have grown up here in church, in religion, in America, and we have been taught to accept everything that comes down our way. Only time I've ever seen anybody stand up for righteousness, true righteousness, in my lifetime was Dr. King and Malcolm X. And they got the same thing that Jesus Christ got. So to me, Jesus Christ, whether you believe that Jesus Christ lived or not, the message is that all the things that we could acquire in the physical form while in these bodies on this earth at that time, this time, or any time, is not worth anything that will cause you to reject the truth of God. And so when you're challenged like that, your evidence that you are aware and have a relationship with God is that your God is not the killer God, but the God that says, I made you, I can protect you, but the difference between them and thus is that you're willing to die while they're willing to kill. They are willing to kill because they're absent the knowledge of the future. You're willing to die because it doesn't matter to you. The God that you know is God. And so rather than kill, you'll lay down your life. So all of the millions of people in churches today, indication is that these churches are losing their memberships. And the reason that they're losing their memberships is because the church is failing God. It's just an organization according to the people who are walking away. It's just an organization according to the ability for a mega movement to stand up and be so bold in a society. Men like Dr. King and Malcolm X are gone. Are there any others around? I pledge to be one. I'm doing everything I possibly can to enlighten myself by that spirit, to be able to be courageous enough to stand up for what is right. And what is right in my mind is that each of us, black and white and all in between, should have the information that represents that God of love and stand with beyond words to cause a manifestation of inaction to the degree that if evil, if the mega group, if these killers, if these devils, if these demons want somebody to kill, then kill a God-loving person like me. I'm willing to give my life for God because I came into this world to live for God. My living for God is to share with you that God loves you and that you are being attacked by evil. Evil, whether it comes through authoritarianism or whether it comes through a democracy that says we will be satisfied if the majority of us are okay, and disregarding any kind of love and compassion for those that's sleeping on the streets, under bridges, that's eating out of garbage cans. You see, that might make us feel that we're a little bit better than the mega group, but in God's eyes, we're all one and the same. And so until you can stand up for God because you know God, you won't do it. And you will be overcome. And the world that you love, rather than turning into heaven on earth, will become hell on earth. Thank you very much.